We're about to get into this 3-round Steelers mock draft from PFF's Mike Renner. But first, make sure that you are subscribed to NFL Draft by Chat Sports. It's our brand new channel here at Chat Sports, completely dedicated to the NFL Draft. So if you want more big boards, player analysis, rankings, interviews, and weekly NFL mock drafts, make sure to click that subscribe button right now. Hope you're having a good weekend, Yinzers. My name is Jack Sperry. This is Steelers Talk. Today we're going to be breaking down a mock draft from PFF's Mike Renner. It's a 3-round mock draft, and he has a little bit of a twist here, and I can't wait to share with you. But first, go ahead and like this video. If you want me to reveal my latest Steelers mock draft, I already have it planned out. If you want to see it this next week, you got to like the video. My bosses tell me we need 500 likes on today's video in order for me to reveal it next week. So you got to make sure you click that thumbs up icon for me right now. Now, before we get into this mock draft, let's take a look at what the Steelers have in terms of draft capital. Now, this is just a 3-round mock draft, but they have 7 picks total. They got that second rounder that they got in the Chase Claypool trade. Some pretty nice stuff there. 2 7th rounders as well. And then you take a look at what they could be addressing in terms of their team needs. Inside linebacker is a big one. They need to get a coverage linebacker. Nose tackle is going to be a big one as well. Outside cornerback is something that a lot of Steelers fans want right now. Same thing with left tackle. And then some other considerations are strong safety, slot cornerback, rotational outside linebacker, and slot wide receiver. So before we start here, we have a trade. Yes, this was the twist that I was teasing there in just a second ago. Mike Renner has the Steelers trading up with the Houston Texans to number 12 overall. And let's take a look at what the Steelers would have to give up. Mike Renner says that this would be the trade here. So you give up number 17, your first-round pick. You give up your third-round pick and your fourth-round pick to move up 5 spots there to number 12 overall. And with that pick, he has the Steelers taking left tackle Broderick Jones. And Broderick Jones has been the pick for a lot of these NFL draft pundits over the last couple of weeks, and that's a good thing, guys. This guy is a fantastic prospect, in my opinion. He is the best fit for what the Steelers are trying to do. They're trying to shift to more of that power run scheme, and you need guys on the offensive line that can impose their will on opposing defenders. Broderick Jones, in my opinion, is the best power blocking left tackle in this year's NFL draft. I think that this would be a fantastic move. Now, I'm gonna let you know what I think of this trade in just a second, but I want you to get in the comment section right now and tell me, would you make this trade to go get Broderick Jones? Would you give up that 3rd rounder and that 4th rounder to move up to go get that future left tackle? Give me a yes or give me a no in the comment section. This will be the pinned comment on today's show. So YouTube's going to throw an ad break your way, just the way it works, guys. Use that time wisely by answering today's question. So personally, I don't think that the Steelers are going to trade up. I think that they're going to stay put, and if one of these top left tackle prospects make it to them at number 17, I think they'll take them, and then if all of them are gone, they're going to hope that one of the top cornerback prospects are there at number 17. Again, you take a look at those team needs for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, you got quite a bit, and giving up your 3rd and 4th round pick, I mean, it really limits your options as to how you can fill those needs in the NFL draft. I think the Steelers would rather stay put, keep their picks, if anything, trade down so that they can fill more of these slots on their roster. So although I don't think that the Pittsburgh Steelers will trade up, Broderick Jones, if he is there, I think that he's going to be the pick. I think Paris Johnson Jr. and Peter Skoronski will probably be off the board come pick 17, but Broderick Jones has a serious shot at being there at 17. If he's there, I expect him to be the pick for the black and gold. But it's not just him, guys. If any one of those top 3 offensive tackles, Peter Skoronski, Paris Johnson Jr., or Broderick Jones are there at 17, I expect that to be the pick for the Steelers because, plain and simply, they need to address this need. Okay, Dan Moore Jr. is not a great fit, in my opinion, for what they want to do, shifting to a power run game. I think that it's going to end up being one of these three guys or a cornerback. All right, so we're going to get into the rest of this mock draft in just a second. But first, guys, I got to tell you about these awesome new NFL draft hats that just dropped, I think, last week. And, I mean, look at this design. I love that stone color with the gold lettering, the Steelers logo in the middle here. You can get yours today by going to chatsports.com/Steelers draft hat. But I'm telling you right now, these things are flying off the shelves. We have quite a few in stock, but, man, some of these things are starting to go out of stock. They are flying off the shelves. So if you want to get yours now, you got to do it now, guys. Got to go chatsports.com/Steelers draft hat to get your Steelers draft hat today. Then at the top of round 2, Mike Renner from Pro Football Focus has the Steelers taking edge rusher Felix Anudike-Uzomah from Kansas State. And I really like Felix coming out of the Wildcats there. I think he's a really, really good player. I'm going to let you know what I think of this pick in just a second. But first, let's go to Mike Renner, who explained why he had the Steelers taking an edge rusher here. Anudike-Uzomah is the perfect type of bendy edge rusher to put across from TJ Watt. Those two will meet often at the quarterback in the coming years if he's the pick. Now, I like Felix Anudike-Uzomah, guys, but I think that this pick is too early. I don't think that outside linebacker is the move here. I just don't. I think that you can probably address this in the middle to late rounds, but doing it so early when you need to address cornerback, I just don't agree with it, in my opinion. And I think that the Steelers could actually sign an edge rusher in free agency. These guys are still available in free agency. Yannick Ngakoue, an extremely productive edge rusher that you could bring in as your third rotational piece. He'd be one of the best rotational third pieces on the pass rush in the NFL right away. Then you got Justin Houston, who's a really good player as well. Bud Dupree has been heavily rumored to the Pittsburgh Steelers. You bring in any one of these guys, I think it fills the need, and then I don't think you have to spend such a high draft pick on a rotational pass rusher, because you already have Alex Highsmith, you already have TJ Watt. It's not like you're drafting a starter, and at the top of round 2, I think that you really want to get a day 1 starter. Felix Anudike-Uzomah would not be that. He would be a rotational piece, so I'd rather go get a cornerback, a linebacker, something other than edge rusher at number 32 overall. But let me know in the comments section, should Pittsburgh draft or sign another edge? Who do you want to be that third rotational pass rusher? Do you want it to be a rookie, type D if you want to draft a rookie, or do you want to get a veteran, type S if you want to sign a veteran in free agency? You know my answer. I'm putting my S in the comment section. I just think there's some pretty good options still out there, and I think it opens up some opportunities, especially early in the draft. Then later in round 2, final pick in this mock draft, because the Steelers traded away their third rounder, Cam Smith, cornerback out of the South Carolina Gamecocks. I've talked about this guy a lot on the show, but let's kind of go in depth on what his film says. The pros. He's really, really fast, guys. 4.3. So he's a 4.4 guy, really, really good acceleration as well. Like, he's not just fast in a straight line. Like, he has an elite 10-yard split. This guy can get places quickly, and I really think that that really elevates his ceiling. This guy could be an interception machine. He's pretty darn good in press, and he's a hard hitter. He's a very physical player, which is something that I know the Steelers like. However, the cons. The size, he could be a little bit bigger. 6'1", 182 pounds, not great there. Then he got instincts, in-zone coverage. He's a bit slow to react and read the quarterback's eyes, in my opinion. So although he can get places extremely quickly, sometimes it takes him a little bit to know where the quarterback's going. If he can develop those instincts at the next level, I think he's a superstar level talent. Then you got the 50-50 balls. He's not particularly physical at the catch point. Some of these number 1 type wide receivers are going to do a good job down the field against him on those 50-50 ball situations. And then tackling consistency, he hits people hard, but sometimes he can lose control a bit and he can just whiff. That's not good, guys. You want consistent tacklers as your cornerbacks, because if your corners can't tackle, you have an issue, especially on the outside. For me, the scheme fit is definitely a press man heavy team. I think the Steelers are a pretty decent fit for Cam Smith, and I think that overall his projection is that he's going to be an eventual cornerback 2 starter in the National Football League, but I don't think he's ever going to get to that level where he is that number 1 guy. I just don't think he's a number 1 corner in the National Football football league. Now the big question is the Steelers okay with that? Do they want to get somebody that has that number one cornerback potential, or are they okay getting a guy like Cam Smith who projects to be more like a Marcus Peters, who's more of a number two starter as opposed to that number one star caliber player? It's going to be interesting to see what they prioritize here at the top of the draft. I think they'll probably prioritize left tackle in round one, but if those left tackles are gone, they'll probably get one of those top four guys at the cornerback position there in round one. But let me know, you guys are the GM here. Let me know in the comment section, when should the Steelers draft a cornerback in the 2023 NFL draft? Should it be in round one? Should they get one of those premier guys, type 1, if you think that? Or should they wait and get the value pick in round 2? Type 2 if you think round 2. Can't wait to see what you guys have to say about this topic. Now, before I go, I am going to grade Mike Renner's mock draft here for the Steelers. And, the trade wasn't, I just don't think that the trade is ever going to happen. And then I didn't love the Felix Anudike-Uzomah pick at the top of round 2. So I'm going to give it a B-. Like, you get some pretty darn good players, don't get me wrong. Broderick Jones was a fantastic pick. And if he falls to 17, that would be an A+ pick. But I don't love the fact that you're giving away the third and fourth round pick. I just don't love that. That just really is a stick in my craw there. And then, you get to Felix Anudike-Uzomah, and I just don't really understand that pick. I would much rather get a guy like Jack Campbell at the inside linebacker position, who would be an immediate starter, as opposed to an edge rusher that's going to be a rotational piece on third down. So, I really respect Mike. I think that he's a really smart guy. But I think for this Steelers mock draft, I'm going to give him a B-. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. I appreciate you stopping by today. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.